most holds us back from easy space travel, so let's avoid it using beaming technologies. We've discussed many alternative methods throughout this series on how to get into space, but most of these have revolved around some extreme engineering, like launch loops or orbital rings. They can get you into space cheap, but have big upfront construction and maintenance costs. Last time in the series, we discussed spaceplanes, ships that can fly from an airport straight to orbit and maybe beyond. While that had many options, it was fundamentally limited by the rocket equation, and we could only partially circumvent that by letting it get much of its propellant at lower speeds from the air. But it could only do that in the atmosphere, and it still needed to burn huge amounts of fuel to operate. Today, we'll be looking at how to get around that fuel issue by beaming energy to a ship. But let's begin by a quick review of what the rocket equation is, and why it constrains us. The basic form of any spaceship propulsion using propellant, shooting matter out the back from internal storage tanks, involves the propellant coming out at a certain speed, relative to the ship, called the exhaust velocity. We want the highest exhaust velocity possible, as that contains the most kinetic energy per bit of propellant, and thus shoves your ship faster. Problem is, the exhaust velocity is relative to that ship, which will often be moving faster than that exhaust velocity. If your propellant comes out at, say, Mach 1, but your ship is going Mach 2 at that point, you will still get thrust, but you have to accelerate all that propellant mass up to Mach 2 before you can spit it out the back at Mach 1. When you look at how inefficient that is, you can see the fundamental problem with rocketry. It takes exponentially more fuel to achieve higher speeds relative to that exhaust velocity. The solid rocket boosters on the old shuttles had an effective exhaust velocity of 2,500 meters per second, which is quite fast, but let's look at what an exhaust velocity of 2,500 meters per second would get you if we burned 1 ton of it. If we had a 10-ton spaceship plus that 1 ton of fuel, we'd begin at 11 tons and end at 10 tons at a speed of 238 meters per second. Quite fast actually, that's 858 kilometers or 533 miles per hour, way faster than the freeway. Now if we just used a 1-ton ship and 1 ton of fuel, it would begin at 2 tons, and empty its fuel tanks to get to 1733 meters per second, quite a bit faster, 6,238 kilometers, or 3,876 miles per hour. Unfortunately, still nowhere near the speeds we need for orbit. Let's go to the other extreme, 10 times as much fuel as ship, starting at 1.1 tons and ending at just 0.1, a large human's mass, moving 6,000 meters per second. That's almost low Earth orbital speed, which is 7,800 meters per second. However, in practice, what with the atmospheric and gravity drag, we actually need a delta V of 9,400 meters per second. And for that, if we used 1 ton of fuel, we could only get 22 kilograms or 48 pounds into orbit, meaning we'd used around 50 times as much fuel as our ship weighed. If we wanted to get to Earth escape velocity rather than low orbit, we would need to add about 3,400 meters per second more speed, and now that 1 ton of fuel is only getting us 5 kilograms or 12 pounds of ship out there, and it will get worse and worse. From a practical standpoint, you can't really get a ship up to more than about 4 times its propellant's exhaust velocity, and that doesn't include fuel to slow down, which is way less, only because so much of the mass is now gone, having been burned up to accelerate the ship. Now, if your fuel is liquid hydrogen and oxygen, with an effective exhaust velocity of 4,400 meters per second, not 2,500 meters per second, you do a lot better. Its exhaust velocity is 76% higher, so all those ratios we spoke of in terms of fuel to spaceship occur at 76% higher speeds. But if we wanted something with a fuel to ship and payload ratio of our first example, 10 tons of ship and 1 of fuel, more like a car, we'd need an exhaust velocity 100 times faster than that shuttle booster had, 250,000 meters per second, which is very fast but still just under 0.1% of light speed. And such a fuel would also allow a spaceship to reach Alpha Centauri in about 1,000 years, so hardly a miraculous interstellar fuel. So that's the problem with the rocket equation, or part of it, because I've been saying effective exhaust velocity a lot, not just exhaust velocity, and a critical aspect of rocket propellants is that things don't just magically blow out the back of the ship at thousands of meters per second. And when total thrust matters more than exhaust velocity, like trying to get out of a deep gravity well, how quickly you can push propellant out the back can be more important than how quick those individual particles are going, and is a major reason why we often use very different fuels and rockets for the first stage of a rocket launch. We've got to burn stuff to make it very hot so that the particles are moving very fast, and that means making our propellant out of stuff that burns, which generally means oxygen, which is a horrible propellant. That oxygen, the oxidizer, is providing all the energy when it combines with the fuel to make the propellant, but it's essentially sapping our total thrust. Hydrogen is typically your ideal propellant because it's a single proton, and the typical speed particles move at a given temperature goes with the square root of temperature and the inverse square root of particle mass. Quadruple the temperature, double the speed. Quadruple the mass, half the speed. Oxygen, being 8 protons and 8 neutrons, weighs about 16 times what hydrogen does, and so is only moving at a quarter the speed of any hydrogen atom at the same temperature. We just saw what a big deal exhaust velocity was for ships, and quadrupling the exhaust velocity of that propellant is the difference between a ton of fuel getting 5 kilograms away from Earth, or about 60 times that. It's a very big deal. We have one more problem though, because we can't just quadruple the temperature for instance, or we'd melt our engine. This is essentially why the ion drive is so enticing as an alternative. It shoots particles out at very high speed, using a magnet and electricity to do so. This is also why we like using light or lasers for propellant. The exhaust velocity of light is the speed of light, and when you plug that in as your exhaust velocity, you need to be moving at interstellar speeds before you even need to worry about the rocket equation, as it's about 100,000 times faster than our typical rocket propellants. Heat is not the only way to move particles, nor does it necessarily require burning stuff on location, but it is what gives us high thrust, and that's important for spaceships leaving Earth. We've talked about using light sails or ion drives in deep space before, such as in interstellar laser highways, but it's not something we can really do down here on Earth because of gravity and air. The air is constantly trying to sap away your speed, which is handy for saving fuel on landing by aerobraking, but not for speeding up. You also have to maintain at least 1 g of thrust to avoid falling down, which will rapidly sap your speed via the method known as lithobraking. So you need to provide a lot of thrust, not just a high exhaust velocity, but a lot of exhaust in a short time. We could bounce a very strong laser off a mirror on the bottom of the ship, same as we can still doing for ships in deep space, but this has some problems. Photons, by themselves, are pretty much raw momentum. They are the perfect propellant, and they get around the rocket equation if you're firing them from elsewhere, because they double up the momentum transfer if they bounce, and most importantly, you're not carrying them around on your ship. If you could, via some sort of perfect mirror box with light inside it, or fuels like antimatter or Kugelblitz black holes, you've got your perfect launch fuel, mostly. See, it takes either 3 megawatts a kilogram or 3 gigawatts to push 1 ton of ship at 1 g, just enough to make it hover on Earth, if you're carrying it as fuel, and half that, 1.5 megawatts a kilogram, or 1.5 gigawatts a ton, for if you're bouncing a beam off the ship. This is a bit of a problem, because that is a lot of energy. Just to put that into context, a car weighs around a ton, and the best it can do is 0 to 60 in just over 2 seconds, a little over a g of thrust, and can kick up to several hundred horsepower, or around half a megawatt. so they're pulling a similar acceleration as a 1.5 gigawatt laser beam bounce will pull off using 3,000 times more power, 6,000 if we're just emitting it rather than reflecting. What's more, lasers are quite hard to keep on target in air, especially when powerful like that, which we discussed in power satellites. You're probably wondering why I call photons the most efficient propellant when that car engine was doing 3,000 times better, particularly considering flooring the engine isn't terribly fuel efficient either. But that car is getting all its oxygen from outside, and it also isn't using a propellant. I mean, technically the exhaust pipe on a car does produce thrust too, but it's pretty minimal. We discussed how air-breathing engines worked last time in spaceplanes, but we glossed over the energy issue a bit. If I release a bunch of photons, 3 gigajoules worth per second, I will have accelerated my 1-ton craft so it's going about 10 meters per second faster. If instead I heat up a big chamber of oxygen with that, dumping 3 gigajoules into roughly a ton of air, it will heat up by about 3000 Kelvin, moving at around 1600 meters per second. And if I blast that out the back of that chamber, which we'll say was a ton itself, that chamber will fly off at nearly a kilometer a second, 100 times faster than the light beam offered, and if the propellant was hydrogen molecules instead of air, about 4 times faster, though in fact it wouldn't since hydrogen has a way higher heat capacity than air, about 14 times as much, but we'll ignore that for the moment. Beyond noting that lets us add far more heat to hydrogen, and thus energy, at a lower temperature, and thus helps avoid melting our engine. Same energy used, 3 gigajoules, but one got you 100 times as much speed. The problem is that we had to carry all that gas, whereas the photons, assuming we're even carrying them rather than receiving them from outside, massed virtually nothing, 34 micrograms. That's very important when you're in deep space and have no external source of propellant and want to reach very high speeds, in which case light becomes ideal. Here on Earth though, imagine we just had a big plane with a propeller and a solar panel or its microwave equivalent, a rectenna, which we could beam energy to and which would then power that propeller. It's never going to need to land to refuel, it's just sucking air in the front and out the back, powered by an electric engine getting its juice from elsewhere. We can upgrade that to more of a rocket approach too. We suck air in the front into a chamber and superheat it. This is basically how the ramjet and scramjet designs we discussed in spaceplanes work, and it gives them the nickname of a stovepipe. They have no moving parts, and they use their fuel merely to heat air. Needless to say, we can do that electrically, same as a typical electric space heater, indeed quite efficiently too. Heaters of all types, electric or chemical fuel, are the only machine we know of that is 100% efficient, though that is a bit of a cheater definition since we measure how inefficient other machines are by how much of the energy gets squandered as heat. The limitations on ramjets and scramjets in terms of speed, as we discussed in space planes, is that they run out of fuel to heat that air. A scramjet with a beam source of power can keep speeding up as long as it can get enough energy in to offset what it's losing to drag, and can stuff all that air through there at a high enough temperature and rate without melting the thing. I don't want to imply that's the easiest of engineering feats, nor is keeping your beam on target, or pumping enough juice in to achieve this kind of thrust. It is generally hard to jam more than a megawatt of power into a square meter or something, and you lose a lot to heat, which in this case is fine if you're using something like a rectenna that's in the actual chamber of the scramjet, the stovepipe, especially since all it is then is something super absorptive to the beaming frequency that turns it right into heat. Your ideal beaming frequency is something that is easily absorbed by that stovepipe, but goes through air and other materials with virtually no effect. Your stovepipe probably needs to spin a bit to make sure it's getting evenly heated by that beam, and done right, it could have enough thermal mass to keep going for a while even if that beam broke contact. Fortunately, you are still mere milliseconds of light lag from your power sources, so maintaining that lock or re-establishing it is a lot faster and easier than when we discuss power or laser beaming for interplanetary or interstellar ships. The other good news is that once you start getting up above the main atmosphere, your drag starts going down, though of course you are also running low on material to cram into that stovepipe and to provide conventional lift on your wings. Fortunately, you'd be moving very fast by then, and as you go up more, a lot of what's available becomes hydrogen rather than oxygen and nitrogen. Ideally, this should let you avoid even needing an onboard propellant, but if you do need some, you're getting an exhaust velocity out of it equal to whatever temperature you can max out at. And if we're talking something like tungsten's melting point, 3700 Kelvin, diatomic hydrogen would be coming out at 6800 meters a second. In an energy-rich society that would likely do power beaming, hydrogen is easy enough to source, what with all those oceans, and you shouldn't even need to tap that until you're nearly up to orbital speed anyway, if at all. Once you're out of the atmosphere and in orbit, you do need that onboard propellant, but you don't need the high thrust anymore, and could switch over to a low thrust option like an ion drive, powered by that energy beam, or even just go the reflection route. It's very easy for me to imagine personal spaceplanes along these lines, in an economy running on either fusion or beamed-in power like we discussed in power satellites. You use classic propellers or turbofans for low speed, switch to the stovepipe scramjet for high speeds, and to ion drive or reflection once in higher orbit for long slow acceleration to interplanetary or interstellar speeds. Of course, beaming isn't limited to photons either. You could send a beam of ionized particles instead, reflected magnetically or captured for use as propellant later, though that doesn't work well in an atmosphere. So quite a few engineering challenges, but no super science involved either. What's the upsides of this approach, beyond what we mentioned? First, it does circumvent the giant personal weapon issue. It's still a fast device, meaning you can crash it into something, but unlike our other higher power sources, atomic fission, bottled light, antimatter, or black holes, it doesn't actually contain those itself. It just has its own kinetic energy, and thus is way safer for on-planet or low-orbit use. Barring a fusion reactor that is also quite compact and cheap, this is really the only option that would ever permit a personal spaceship. Your neighbor can have one in the garage, no risk of explosions or terrorist applications beyond speeding up and ramming something, which is not very attractive as an attack method, especially since to get power you need that off-site beam and you need precision tracking. So if you deviate dangerously, you can be easily targeted, and your hypersonic debris is going to mostly burn up before smacking stuff anyway. You won't be pulling high-speed maneuvers anywhere near the ground. So it's very safe, and it's also very cheap as a spaceship goes, because that core engine is just a big scramjet cone and stovepipe, probably just raw metal, though it might get pricey with extreme precision machining and expensive alloys. However, those are both the kind of thing an economy of scale tackles well, so we could be talking about car prices, something you could probably fit into a large garage and could probably buy without being fabulously wealthy. This will probably never be the most efficient way into space. The orbital ring is likely to always dominate that for reasonably fast, low-energy ground-to-space options. But for an energy-rich society, it's probably the safest and most personally convenient approach we've got. It is to the orbital ring what the car is to the train. Less efficient, but way more convenient. And it lets you get where you want, whether to a destination on Earth, in orbit, or off to the moon. Indeed, it could be scaled up for interplanetary travel, your own personal space yacht, though without an onboard power source, you do have to stay in places where those beams are available, or have a secondary engine to work outside their zone of coverage, a bit like early cell coverage you'd expect it to grow with time. But it would be ideal for space tourism, which we'll be talking about in a couple weeks, and you can just take your own personal spaceship anywhere you want, so long as you stick to the powered paths. You probably would use that approach too for orbital versions, keep a powerful and wide beam running between set mirrors or similar to create lanes, minimizing the need for tracking and keep the beam on, and also minimize traffic problems too. If everyone owns one, you definitely want some metaphorical roads or skyways. So we've got our upcoming episodes in a moment, including a live stream this weekend, and it reminded me of a comment I got after one about it being neat during those to see where I did all my riding at. I know a fair number of riders who can walk anywhere in a physical sense, but for me, the old rule of thumb about finding your own space to walk in is entirely literal, and my office at home is entirely configured around that, and it's the only place I write. Writing is a very wide area when it comes to both mediums and styles, so that no one's process or advice is really going to work for everyone, or anyone if you try to mimic a process exactly. But some advice is fairly universal, and that's one of them. There's an excellent video course by Simon Van Boy, 6 Steps to a Successful Writing Habit, on Skillshare, that I have to admit appealed to me in large part because it was such a close match for my own process. But as mentioned, there are many different work styles and mediums, and someone used to writing news articles on their laptop on the bus, between events, is going to be far different than someone writing a novel at a home shared with a noisy roommate, or someone writing weekly science videos while trying to fend off his cats. So if you're trying to get started writing, it's a good idea to sample the methods of a lot of different people till you find your own. And that's true of almost any creative work, not just writing. Skillshare has a ton of videos on writing, everything from best methods to how to make an interesting protagonist, and a lot of other instructive or inspirational videos on creative processes like drawing or animating. A premium membership gives you unlimited access to over 20,000 high-quality classes on must-know topics, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. Join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. To sign up, visit the link in the description, and the first 500 visitors get 2 months of unlimited access to over 20,000 classes for free. Act now for this special offer and start learning today. So as mentioned, in a couple of weeks we'll be taking a look at space tourism, from the near-term possibilities of orbital hotels to the more fascinating options on the moon and beyond. But first, next week we'll commemorate the 4th of July, the day of barbecuing, by taking a look at synthetic meats and other tasty technologies, from lab-grown meat to mammoth steaks and dino burgers. We also have our end of the month livestream Q&A coming up this Sunday, June 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you'll join us there and ask some questions. For alerts when those and other episodes come out, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this episode, please like it and share it with others. Until next time, thanks for watching, and have a great week. So today we are continuing our look at alien civilizations by discussing the concept of first contact with an alien civilization. This is much too broad a topic for just one episode.
Greetings, friends. Let's play a game. What if you download League of Legends right now, start playing?
Commander, this is Gabriel Angelos. We have detected a Blood Raven's distress signal coming from somewhere nearby. If there are chapter brothers in need, provide support. But be wary of a trap. Angelos out.
Our drop pods have scattered, Commander.
Why?
Something is interfering with the navigation systems.
Why?
We should
Don't
locate
worry
our forces
about
and
it.
regroup.
Why?
God damn it. Now, open the
You're
gate.
Miley Cyrus, you
Ah!
fucking faggot!
Past this wall if we are to locate the other drop pod.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Use your jump.
I'll jump over the wall, too. Oh, wait.
Remote detonators. and
Sayonara,
demolition
cocksucker!
bring this gate down.
Come back here, you little faggot.
Why didn't you just do that in the first place?
Target acknowledged.
Did you know? Did you know, Carlos Mencia,
What are
that
they doing here?
there were several valuable relics on the cruiser, and we didn't take them off first because we're derpy. Look, Imperial Guard.
Don't worry about it. Loyal guard.
Position, Space Marine. I said hold.
Where's your weapon, guardsman? We do not answer to you.
Gun them down.
Oh my god, why are they so hostile? Kyle, explain.
They're the bad guys.
Attacking
It's
them with
because
standard
they're
weapons
traitor
takes much more
guardsmen.
time.
But, spoiler.
They're not traitor guardsmen, though. They're nice, they're proper guardsmen. Look at them, they're clean.
All guns, open fire.
This I fucking doubt.
Oh, no, they think we're Chaos Marines, you dirtbat.
Hold the
God
line,
damn it.
fit.
God damn it.
Imperial Guard, attack.
Why aren't you blowing it up, Kyle?
If they thought that we were because I'm not gonna waste the last fucking satchel charge when he's gonna die when he shoots his fucking sniper rifle.
Yeah, but who knows how many dudes are in there?
Well, there's one less now.
2, 5.
Damn. Okay, I was gonna say. Get him.
Something sinister is going on here.
Oh, really,
No
Cyrus?
loyal guardsman would ever fire on a space
How can you tell?
I doubt these traitors will.
See, they're the traitors.
No, they
okay?
aren't. This is your fault.
They're
We
traitors.
could have spoken to them. I can jump over this crater and leave you to rot alone and miss... Actually, I can't. Never mind.
Isn't this the final level of the game?
Traitors ahead,
No, it's
and
not this
well
one.
armed.
Ah,
My scouts wear light armor, Commander. So we
They've recycled some of the Mambus.
meh. This expansion was truly a miracle of relic balance when it released. Oh god, the Blood Crushers.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
The fucking Blood Crushers.
We need more supplies. God damn it, only have one
Construct
satchel.
additional pylons. There were
can't.
tons of supplies all the way back there, Carlos. Why didn't you pick them up?
Because I'm lazy. You should have picked them up for me.
Dum dum.
Oh, hey. Avitus is mine. Where's this Terminator armor?
Dum dum.
Devastated.
Dum dum.
Don't be fucking salty.
Dum dum.
Just because I can see the texture separate right there, and that bothers me now. Oh. See a little black line there?
Hate them if you will, but do not underestimate.
Do not underestimate them. Their weapons are harmless to us, and look at this. I guess you're gonna have to play with the fucking melee shits this time around then.
Here they come.
No, give me the fucking Avitus.
Suffer as I have suffered.
Okay, well then I get Tarkus.
Oh,
That's
look,
not too
the
bad.
glacier is going like.
We should engage them
Look
at
at that.
extreme range and focus our fire.
We should engage them at extreme Rengu. Oh, Tarkus died already. Kyle, you haven't even. God, was that you? That was you, wasn't it? You filthy little.
Shut the fuck up! Oh my god!
Oh my god! No. E3, Kyle. E fucking 3. E3.
Woo, woo.
It's pretty fucking boring, but eh.
Drop pod took anti-air fire on
I mean, every E3 gets slowly more and more less impressing.
It really does. I mean, the vampire gameplay quote unquote trailer was
That's not gameplay.
nice, I suppose.
That was so fucking that shit's the fucking Rainbow Six Siege stage level. You know, where it's just like all pre-staged, pre-recorded, pre-rendered video. None of it's actual gameplay. It's like an engine trailer, which can totally mean fucking fuck all. In you know, because the game's gonna go through how many more years of development? At least one. So yeah, no.
Quarter one,
Yeah, no. Don't buy into the
2020.
fucking
So 6 months, roundabout.
Always, when it comes to games and being a consumer of games, always be skeptical. There's no point to buy into hype.
Well,
First step.
but no, the game you need to buy into hype for is Cyberpunk. If Cyberpunk is bad, I'll be so sad. Although Keanu Reeves randomly showing up makes me sad. I hate fucking celebrities in games. They don't fit.
Oh, I'm not the only one, thank God, because people are like, "Oh my God, you're being a little bitch," and it's like, yes, but I really don't like actors always being in a movie or not, sorry, a game.
No, artillery.
A spotter called in that attack from hiding.
Oh, it's so agitating because it's like it takes you out of it. It's like
It really
why
does.
are
It
you firing?
annihilates any sense of immersion you may have had. See, I'm gonna make a little bitching video about this because it really annoys me because
And bomb this ice pile from orbit.
it just grabs you by the face and pulls you right out of the experience when you have a dude that you know, like, okay, I know who you are, dude. You're like a celebrity and shit.
Systems depend
Go away.
on a broadcast array.
The best part is in
Let's
like
act like
fucking,
Space Marines. Find
40
the
years when
array
people
and
are playing
destroy
games,
it.
all these actors will be dead and they'll be like, who the fuck are these douches? To be fair though, as an actor, I actually really do like Keanu Reeves. But
As an actor.
as an actor, yeah, exactly.
Actor.
Not in my games.
Actor. Fuck, Keanu Reeves has one character. Keanu Reeves plays Keanu Reeves. A problem becoming ever more pronounced these days.
This is Avitus.
Wait, is my camera following you? What the fuck?
I fucking hope it does. It'll follow the important person.
Fuck you. Oh, if you double left click on your character, and you right click, your camera will just automatically follow. Oh my god, it's the laziest way to play this game.
Szerencsére a szabirának nem szólnak a jó messzire.
Yay.
Tehát az egész mapon keresztül csak néha találnak
Okay, I
el.
think
Should we need it?
there's only one guy.
Avitus, give it
Ah,
up.
but it's like,
Tankokat.
see, this is a problem with actors, pretty much all of them these days. Like, they don't act characters anymore, I feel like. They've become so famous
Avitus.
that they have become the character.
They are the
It's
character.
like, Tom Hanks plays Tom Hanks in every fucking movie. Keanu Reeves plays Keanu Reeves in every fucking movie. Like, slightly different versions of Neo.
This is Avitus.
Yes. Like after the Matrix, like every character he's played feels like it's just like, oh, it's Neo
Yep.
from the Matrix.
Like, he used
I
to
don't
have a
even think
lot
Keanu
more,
Reeves-
he used to have more, how do you even put it? He used to have a little bit more in his repertoire previously. Like, he played in fucking Dumb and Dumber.
Let them fall before us.
Your command.
Oh, Jesus. Why is everybody dying?
Open fire.
They do a lot of damage, and we don't have our equipment.
Yeah, I'm
some
really
shit.
missing my energy shields, but luckily these guys don't do that much damage.
The plasma weapons. But as
You're sitting right in the middle of the artillery strike, you little derpadoo.
It's just like the Imperial Guard, inaccurate and ineffective.
Alright, I can generate a bit of hit points here off these guys, but yeah, I gotta run.
This is Avitus.
Energy shield. Anyways, that is besides the point. What we were really surprised to talk about, is the fact that finally, Carlu, we have Age of Empires 4 news, and the news is that there are no news.
Basically, from what it sounds like to me, Microsoft's hiring more help, which only makes me go like, just fucking kick Relic off.
Brothers,
Apparently they're,
to war.
I don't know. I mean, this is not out of the ordinary to hire on additional hands, but for some reason I have like a suspicion that Relic is underperforming and Microsoft is like, I don't know, not very happy. But maybe that's just me spinning a narrative.
I don't know, because they hired another studio to focus on Age of Empires, but since they're, you know, remaking every single fucking Age of Empires 3 times over, I guess they... Ow! Holy shit!
Those fucking turrets aren't good on the other side
Fucking
of
hell.
the spectrum.
You know, I guess
Yeah,
they
I'll get
really
this.
do need the help, because they're remaking so many fucking Age of Empires games now, it's getting a bit silly.
More enemy spotters.
Wait, they're remaking more than... Wait, remaking?
Oh yeah.
I thought they were making a new one.
No. the definitive edition of Age of Empires 2 is the next thing now.
This is Avitus.
And they hired an entire new studio to focus on Age of Empires, primarily the various remakes.
Yep.
Now, of course, if that is true, which we don't have any reason to suspect that it isn't as of yet... Alright, there's melee guardsmen attacking my fucking force commander. And winning, too, by the way, which is the sad part.
Capturing this point.
Fucking melee guardsmen are actually beating him. Oh, that's tragic.
That's kind of fucking special. Where the fuck is your commander? Okay, there he is.
Yeah, he almost got... Okay, so these guys are... I'm not supposed to be shooting at them, because they're healing faster than I'm doing damage to them, but hey. Details.
Details.
But yeah, the fact that they hired in a new studio is a bit interesting, but as long as that's just for, you know, retooling the old ones, then that makes kind of sense that they're remaking all of them. But, I mean, we had... Age of Empires 4 was announced in 2017, August of 2017. And we have nothing. No news, no hints, no information. We don't even know the setting. Like,
honestly, I'm half contemplating they're keeping it under ropes for, you know, because it's far from being ready to be presentable.
It probably is, but it's like announcing that they're working on this in 2017. And then no wood. And the things they've repeatedly had the position where they're like, okay, we're gonna have news soon, basically. And every time they've done that, the release of the news has always been cancelled on fairly short notice. So I'm wondering, what the fuck is going on? Do they have anything? Was it just announced super early because reasons?
Brothers, we go.
That is up to like some serious speculation, because I don't really know as to why. I think they announced it ahead of schedule because they thought that maybe it wouldn't take nearly as long in terms of development cycle. Because you gotta think, right? Normally these companies are working on these games years in advance. By the time Dawn of War 3 was out, whatever Relic Entertainment was doing was already doing it and was working on it for quite a while. They had an advanced team normally setting up, you know, research or whatever, or concept art.
How to have the art fucking work ahead. Butcher the Dawn of War franchise in one single installment.
Oh, they did so good though at that.
But yeah, I mean, I guess, but usually they then try to control expectations a bit by not announcing the damn thing 2 to 3 years before it's supposed to actually be out.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to fucking focus on Cyrus there so he didn't die. Oh, that was ineffective.
I can't actually... there we go, yeah. I was stuck there, fucking retard shit.
The annoying thing about the fucking guardsmen is they love to throw little grenades every 5 seconds.
Little grenades. You know, I'm pretty sure that my character didn't used to have a power axe, so I don't know where I found that, because I was using Ass Ripper, which was a great fucking chainsaw.
Yeah, I do remember that there's something they took away from us in this to rebalance it, because at the end of Dawn of War 2 you're pretty powerful and they need to tone back the power creep. Normally the excuse is you'll lose all your power-ups like in the Metroid games, you know?
Well, I don't know about being overly powerful considering the fucking dying rate.
Yeah, true.
Well, at least this thing, whatever it is, seems to have the same kind of life leech as Ass Ripper, so I guess that's fine. Oh god, this reminds me of something too. Was it the first Dawn of War 1 expansion where they introduced the Imperial Guard, and they were utterly fucking broken because of their grenade launchers?
Oh, because they do knockback
cancer. And so you build nothing but those, and you didn't need to build anything fucking else.
Yep, because the grenades would just knock back anything and everything.
Yep, and you could stack it. I think it was an ability, so basically you did it once, knocked them down, and then you timed it, so that right when they were back on their feet, you fired the second barrage and knocked them down again. And at that point, you kept them on their ass for like 5 seconds, and you'd either kill them or they'd be retreating, one of the two. Fucking relic balance is a chapter in and of itself. It is remarkable what they've managed to fuck up.
Proceed to our extraction point.
Yeah. Well, that's again. I think we've had this conversation with like Steel Division when we play it and stuff like war game. Like the more factions you introduce into these systems, the more difficult and impractical it is to balance. Especially in MOBAs. MOBAs are a great case study on this because a lot of MOBAs will have characters that are always useless. I don't even like MOBAs. But it's important to understand that because as you introduce more characters, abilities, and things like that, you are going to increase the amount of characters that will get left behind. Because balance is entirely dependent on, you know, things being able to counter each other. And the more complicated the system is, the harder it is to balance, and I think at some point it just becomes impossible, really.
Yeah, like an even better case study of this that really exemplifies it is the various war game titles. World of Warships, World of Tanks in particular, and how they're constantly trying to introduce something new, but that new thing also has to be powerful enough to be worth spending money on.
And so they have to make it more powerful than the free things in order for you to spend money on it.
And so you end up with ridiculous power creep. Maybe you want to retreat though? No, never mind. Just let him die, Kyle, you filthy monster.
Not gonna do so much damage. Also, didn't you hear from E3 that George R.R. Martin, the little sad chubby man who's never gonna finish that book, is now working on another project with FromSoft on a game?
And has been doing for a while too, so now we know what he was busy with, I guess.
Yep, he's working on the game too, so it's like, huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know about the Elden Ring. I saw it and I considered making a video on it too, but we know nothing about it so far. All we know is it's Souls, but with an open world, which will be an interesting combination, I suppose.
Risky gambit at that too.
So Souls with open worlds and a story by R.R. Martin.
So it'll have autism, rape, lots of incest and disgusting sex scenes that I really don't want to watch. Nice.
I mean, I'm not entirely sure that FromSoft needs Martin, because they did pretty good at crafting storylines and worlds as it was, so I'm like,
I mean, I like to look at it this way, right? George R.R. Martin, his time on the world.
Oh, we're supposed to get back. Why? Kyle, why are we over here?
No!
Oh, never mind.
I like to think
never mind, Kyle. We're gonna go up to the gate here. Why? Because it's large and it's
George
pretty.
R.R. Martin is on a time schedule before he's gonna croak, sadly. And so, if you're gonna make a game with him, you want to do it soon rather than later.
I guess it seems like such a pointless collaboration. It's like, okay, but what does FromSoft really have to gain from that?
I mean, they'll have the repertoire.
There's nothing
of
actually here. Kyle, why are we here? Why did you drag me up here?
I don't know what you want me to do. Can I blow it up? Let's try that. Here.
There, moving up.
I like
Why is it floating there? What?
Target acknowledged.
Burn it up.
Okay, I think we gotta go back.
Right.
Get all your squads to the extraction point. Fuck! We fucked that up. Whoops.
You're the one who's responsible for noticing these things. But yeah, I'm not entirely convinced by that at all, really. Honestly, the only thing that came out of E3 that I'm like Cyberpunk, I'm just excited for because it's fucking Cyberpunk, and I've been waiting for that since when Spoonie was good entertainment. So you know,
damn,
it's been a while. What else did we really get? We received the news that there is no news about Age of Empires. Bethesda announced nothing except that little fucking hobbit who's in charge of their studio was like, oh yeah, the next Elder Scrolls is being produced to be played for a decade and shit.
Watch for an ambush.
And you know what? I ain't gonna buy that shit. It's gonna be garbage.
I don't know. I hope they've got one more good game in them because they are heading towards a fucking landfall.
76? No, I'm not gonna give them money. I'm gonna help them die. Fuck them.
I'm just hoping that 76 was the fucking warning shot to wake them up and realize that they need to start making games again. Because they've been concentrating on basically making glorified cash machines for a while now. You know, they've forgotten so much of the fucking soul. Excrement point arrived to fire the brown cannons. What?
That's the sounds they make.
Oh, we have to last stand this shit, apparently.
Nice.
Sure, I'll place Avitus inside of the building, that way I'll make a bigger target.
I think they artillery the fuck out of this area.
Yeah, but Avitus doesn't need to fucking live. Look at him, he's in there. He's little heavy bolters sticking through the fucking hole in the wall. Why?
It's not even sticking through the hole in the wall, it's sticking through the concrete because it's fucking clipping.
Oh no, they're firing a barrage. What could we do about it? Oh, could we...
Well, you could not run out there. You can, with the barrage is going.
Barrage, I'm gonna stand right here because lightning never strikes twice in the same place.
Except artillery shells.
I haven't taken any damage yet.
Oh, you took a little bit.
I fucking told you. The safest place to be in a barrage is in a fucking shell hole, Kyle. You fuckwit.
The one thing that 40k pisses me off with is the fact that the fucking hero Space Marines don't wear helmets, and they live longer than the guys that do.
Because you gotta recognize them. The thing is, even 40k takes the piss out of this. I mean, one of the Horus Heresy novels in particular, I remember they were like, why the fuck aren't you wearing a helmet? And the dude's just like, have you seen their weaponry? They pound through our power armor like fucking butter. why would I fucking bother?
That's a good point. Like, damn. I do like that. Oh, get back here where the fucking Avitus is, Mr. Running out there being the hero of the enemy.
Chargeroos!
Ah, shit, they're throwing rocks at me. Rocks that go boom.
See, that's another thing that's a bit annoying, especially in the Horus Heresy. It seems that no matter how many civilizations the Space Marines end up fighting, they always have weapons that just completely ignore power armor. To the point where I want, like, why don't they just go into battle fucking buck naked at this point, honestly?
Honestly, I think writing the Horus Heresy was the kind of a big mistake, at least the way they did it.
Well, I don't think that, Karu. I think you're wrong, as usual.
To me, took away the magic of the pre-lore, the back-lore. It was in mystery and not knowing.
I think they did a pretty good job around that, honestly, because they left enough mystery, in my opinion, because they mentioned, like, yeah, this is the Void Dragon, you know, then they give you a very vague backstory for the Void Dragon, which I think they did well. I mean, my only real problem with the Horus Heresy series is usually Bowden desperately trying to shit all over the Emperor all the time. I do think they've done a bad job with the Emperor, because they...
Yeah, no, he's just a fucking villain, and that really pisses me off. It's like, oh wow, he's just a tyrant. Boring.
Yeah, the thing is...
one-dimensional, too.
It's such a dumb plot line. He's like, oh, the Emperor is a tyrant. Well, why is he a tyrant? Well, because he forces people to do things. Yes, he's forcing people to do things to defeat fucking chaos!
Like, the ends justify the means, but the writers are trying so hard to paint the Emperor as the bad guy.
It's like...
He's not perfect, by no means, but there's zero redeeming qualities.
Really, the thing is,
from what they've done,
tyranny is not intrinsically evil. It's like, how to put it?
Careful, Arch. People will get you.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Tyranny is not intrinsically evil. If you are in a situation where it's literal life or death for a group, and the best course of action is to take control of that group in the form of leadership. Even if you have to be tyrannical about it, it's still better than the destruction of the whole.
Yep.
Like, it's such a black and white retarded thing, and it shits all over the fact that there is no black and white in 40k.
Return fire, brothers!
It's either good or evil, and good comes in a very, it's not the same good that most people are accustomed to. Oh god, those grenades are cancer! They do the exact same thing with the knockback! Oh, kill me! Oh, it's so terrible!
So I'm trying to break these supply crates, hoping that there's healing somewhere, and so far there's not.
Oh, thank god. That was getting a little dicey.
But yeah, I'm going to have
Awesome.
infinite content once I start covering the Horus Heresy. I swear to God, I'm just gonna make like 17 political philosophy videos on the topic of the Emperor. Because already, I'm on the first heretic now, and I've recorded that video like 3 times. And what I've finally decided to do is, instead of going over the same point over and over again in the video, I'm going to make an entirely separate video on Lorgar. Because Lorgar pisses me off. Because people are like, oh, Lorgar's a tragic hero. No, Lorgar is an unabashed monster. Lorgar is a person who is... He will do the most horrible things imaginable, but people are like, oh, he's so sorry because he cries about it afterwards.
Oh, that makes it worse.
It annoys me. It's like, oh yes, if Hitler had had a good cry after gassing the Jews, he'd be like, oh, Hitler Chanu, why did you do that?
I'm so sorry, Aunt Frank, but I have to get rid of every last one of you.
Exactly, like, he literally, he condemns his sons to death and torture, with the demon smiling at him, going like, yeah, I'm gonna butt-fuck every last one of them with a spiked dildo, and it's all okay because he cries about it for like 2 hours. Like, I wondered for longer periods of time about what I'm gonna have for fucking dinner, for God's sake.
Yeah,
Hitler.
No. Lorgar is cancer, because they try to paint him in like a feel bad for him, he didn't do anything wrong, when it's like he did do it. Just because he feels bad about it, feeling bad means nothing, because his actions speak louder than his feelings.
We must discover who these
I hate characters like that. But I think the point is you're not supposed to like him. I think you're supposed to hate him.
The way he's written is incredibly sympathetic. I'm wondering if it's... See, I've seen Bowden's Twitter, and so I have a certain idea of his mind. Otherwise, I would be seriously wondering if the author was playing some fucking 4D chess on me. Like, he's written so sympathetically, but there are still the hints of how much of a cunt he is, that I'm like vacillating between, is this intentional or what?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one, honestly, because the one thing I see with the Black Library authors is the same thing I saw for the
Kyle, look,
the other.
It's a helmet. Look, I can wear a fucking helmet, Kyle. Behold,
take it off.
Behold.
No, my criticisms are invalid. No.
Kyle's soul has been crushed under the cold, hard logic of reality. Oh god, I choked myself, so happy I was to see our helmet. Oh.
That's actually kind of cool, I appreciate that. The fact that it can actually wear a helmet.
Oh god, my throat, I died.
It takes it off. Oh, God punish you.
Oh, I have to take it off, because it doesn't give me a fucking power shield.
Oh, we keep our... I think we keep... No, wait, they changed how the fucking... I'm confused how this works. What did we keep exactly?
So, the first thing I noticed is that Ass Ripper is not here, as far as I can see. I've just got a...
Ass Ripper, no!
I've got a superior chain sword, which is trash. Superior Bolter, Golden Fury. They let us keep 2 sets of Terminator armor. The Death Dealer Bolter.
Briefly targeted to ally.
This... No, wait, no. Description... Wait, no, wait, these are no, these weren't our Terminator armor. Our Terminator armors had stats on them.
It gave us new ones, I think.
Yeah,
they're higher level.
I think these are bland ones.
Wait. Requires repair by a tech marine. No, those are our equipment. They're broken.
Can't be used until repair.
From the battle.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we gotta get the... Oh, we gotta get the tech marine. Yeah, forgot about that.
But we had 3, and we only got 2 now.
Game has decided to fuck us. Oh, it's because I think it replaced it with the Mantle of Codicea. Codicea? I don't fucking know how to pronounce that. See that bottom right-hand corner of the helmet?
Usable by Jonah.
Oh, that's right, the black guy.
Ah.
That's the saddest part when I can only remember his character based on that. That's
He's
pretty
a
bad.
Blakuwanu. And they took away my fucking super pistol, too. I'm pretty sure I think they've taken away my armor. I had better armor than this. Kraken Tooth, I do remember that. And I had a fucking awesome pistol, which they've taken away.
Oh, wow. That's some good Dreadnought Daka. That's a cool looking gun, too. It's got a little skull and it's going to vomit fucking bullets at you. Or wait, bolt rounds.
So, what have I got? So I got the Kraken Tooth. Kraken Tooth's not that great, though. Hammer of Cadia. Alright, okay.
Reménykedtem, hogy a levegőben
Fist
nem
of
sebez.
Valhalla, so I've
De úgy
got a
néz ki,
power
felfelé is
fist as
sebezni
well.
majd.
281. 326 rocket. Oh, that's pretty powerful.
For armor, Mail of the Immortals. Range damage resistance.
Oh, the plasma rifle's still poopy compared to the rocket launcher.
And as for accessories...
Don't throw away too much of the armor.
I haven't
armor's
tossed away
trash.
anything yet.
Okay, just make sure.
Health, suppression resistance, armor rating. Movement speed, attack resistance. Suppression resistance, armor rating. Energy is probably most useful. Alright.
Stun grenades are garbage.
Well, that's not horrible, I suppose.
Range damage.
Thul's got his zeal, he's got fucking white armor, just sell that crap. Avitus has got a pretty sweet missile launcher. And a plasma cannon. White Imperial Heavy Bolter, fucking trash. White Bolter. Melee damage. Energy. Range damage, there you go, yeah. Okay, well... I don't know exactly what we've kept and what we've lost, but...
It is a bit of a mix-up. I'm trying to help re-equip the guys. Target still needs his armor. Melee damage, movement speed.
That'll be great for Thaddeus, melee bonus. Suddenly we've gotten really game serious. So far we talk about nothing. We talk about everything but the game, but finally now...
Wait! Evil Genius!
Ah.
Can't forget about that game. I'm actually excited for that one.
Evil Genius,
So
yeah, no, as long as they... Because Evil Genius 1 was a really great idea, and really charming for a while, but got really boring really quickly.
Yeah. Halfway through the game, I think even before halfway, it got a little agitating because the game was actually too easy. Like, in the second island, it was super fucking difficult, at least for me, because you had to build the front hotels to distract people. And I'm surprised how many people actually were aware of what Evil Genius was. Because a lot of people I know in real life just like, Evil Genius, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, sadness.
Armor rating is actually fairly useful for Cyrus. So, Avitus, we don't really have any great accessories for him, I guess. Just damage resistance.
Commander, I recognize the markings on the troop.
I think I've got...
Thaddeus has something he wants to tell us. Isn't that lovely?
Those were House Vandis forces.
Oh, clicky clicky.
Vandis, the deposed governor. That coward fled the sector when the Tyranids attacked.
The noble houses on Meridian have their own militias. It looks like Vandis' troops are resisting the new regime.
I am sure Governor DeRosa will be delighted.
Delighted. Excuse me, I'm going to increase their melee damage. That's fucking useless. Energy to nearby allies. If that restores energy to myself, then that'll be fucking amazing.
Be super handy, bruh. Brahim.
Right, Yeah, I can't select squads just yet, so this is what we've got right now. Fucking Thaddeus without Terminator armor in melee? That's not a great idea.
Gonna suck. Also, one last thing that I can remember from the E3 thing. Did you see the Zombie Army 4?
Zombie Army 4? What?
The Sniper Elite game where it's like a spin-off about the zombies. It's like basically Nazi zombies.
No, I didn't see that. That sounds trippy.
So it's set in World War II, and the last one was okay. It was kind of fun, you know, with Sniper Elite, but with zombies. It was just a cheesy little game. And I noticed this time around, even though it's set in World War II, like it's like diversity characters. You got little Whammonses from Asia, and I'm like, but it's a European theater? I don't know.
Well, it's
Minor
fucking
grievances and
Sniper
annoyances.
Elite versus zombies. And like, okay.
I know. But it was like the original one, you had, you know, a German officer, a German scientist, a Russian, and an American working together, and it was kind of funny. Just wonder why they change up the characters.
It's a black man! Look at him! He's black who?
Who? Oh, that guy. Jonah. Oh, it
Oh, I
triggers
can
me.
talk
They
to
use
him.
Dawn of War 3.
What are the Elder doing on Aurelia?
Pretend you're actually saying stuff. Commander almost has characters. Hit the start button.
Wait, no, Thule wants to say something.
God damn it, throw up.
What?
Say it quick, Thule.
My
No.
second in command. I will not abandon him. He was my favorite huggy pillow, yes.
Azt hiszem, ezek a rhinók a legveszélyesebbek.
Ah, yes. Thule says he recognizes this man. His butthole was soft and welcoming on cold, hard nights on Fenris. Oh wait, we're not on Space Wolves. Fuck it. Never mind.
But this could be Fenris if you squint
Countdown
real
cancelled.
hard.
Kyle, why you cut Kyle?
I just
Kyle.
moved the window. I can't help it that the game was programmed this way.
I can't deploy. Kyle!
Okay, I'll close whatever window I'm looking at. Now try.
I can't you ruined it!
Fix it,
You
Arch.
destroyed
Don't be
it!
a little bitch.
Okay, try to launch it you then. Can you click the deploy button?
I'm the second player. I can't do nothing.
Well, in that case, that's the end of the campaign right there. Oh, no, it worked, and then it stopped working.
Do it again.
Azt a kurva, hogy érte ezt túl.
Okay, close the window and open a window again.
It ain't working. There we go.
Oh, thank God.
Right. This is Librarian Jonah Ryan. He's a darkie, which means he's the only fucking Blood Raven that fits into actually having been recruited on that desert world. So actually, this guy is the most canon of all the Space Marines.
Yeah, actually, shouldn't the Blood Ravens, if they come from a desert planet that gets a lot of sun exposure, shouldn't the general population be more brown skinned?
They really should.
And white?
Blood Raven. I mean, they had another recruiting world, I think, but way more of the.
Oh yeah, Meridian. Meridian. Yep.
Yeah,
The
on
Meridian.
Meridian they should be super pale because it's fucking high world, but way more of these should be brown.
Yeah, that's actually a good criticism. I think you're right there. Well, then again, a lot of the characters are under the helmet, so maybe they're just, you know, regular
I
suspicions.
guess, but more. I feel like Thaddeus. He's a little bit of a hive rat, you know, so he can be pale.
Yep.
But Tarkus, you know, the kind of a squad leader, you know, he'd be kind of cool as a black one, wouldn't he? Give him a little Zulu shield and be like, oh yes, I am an impy.
Why would he have a Zulu shield?
Why wouldn't he, Kyle? Don't you know all blacks are Zulus?
What?
Yes, it is the truth.
Engaged by Eldar.
I'm
It
very
is the
sure there were
truth.
different
And
tribes
no,
and kingdoms.
no, they were Zulus, all of them.
Thaddeus here.
They were all the Zulu people. Yes.
By the way, this level sucks because I fucking remembered it just now. We have to run to one end and run back before Thule dies.
Lovely.
No, not lovely.
That's adorable.
Cancer.
And engage.
I hate this level.
So, my character's lying there dead in the dust in front of me. That's Endymions. He's got my equipment. I don't like that.
He's dead. Just sleeping.
Oh, good. A fucking incredible armada of warp spiders. What I've always wanted in my life. And the best part is, our retreat point is right there, so he can't even run away.
That is true. There is nowhere to run. Nowhere to fucking run.
You know, the more I think about it, a Space Marine chapter based upon the Zulus would be fucking adorable.
They like fucking make that noise they made. I don't know.
It would be so cool. Like their power swords would be those short little spears of theirs, and they'd run around with shields that look like cowhide, Grok's hide shields. Oh, it'd be fucking beautiful.
Grok's hide. There you go.
I love it. That'd be awesome.
This is the arch chapter now. Okay.
Fucking instead of that whole Stations of Battles nonsense that nobody actually wants because we're all misogynistic.
Look,
we should have these guys instead. The space impies.
If I would ever buy the models, I'd probably buy Sisters of Battles, because that way, you know, when I deploy my army and I pay my army, I'm not looking at a guy's ass, I'm looking at a girl's ass, so I'm not gay. That means everyone else is a faggot.
Yeah, no, Kyle, I'm pretty sure you'll be gay regardless of what you do.
No! No! I just accused every fucking Warhammer player that plays the game being gay, because they only have male armies, except for the Sobs.
And the Tau. The Tau aren't male. The Tau are bitches.
Yeah, true. Well,
Engage my Eldar!
they're more like trannies.
Bitches.
We have a new target. It's done. Move on.
Alright, we murdercated them.
A welcome sight indeed, Commander.
We are.
Oh, I don't want Jonah. No, I don't want Jonah. Give me the another guy. Oh god, I didn't want this guy. It's mostly because his equipment I don't think starts off good. Unless there's a violent wave of psychic energy, purify.
When they attacked.
To the
A webway assembly, no doubt.
Why the fuck are the bloody magpies digging on this ball of ice anyways? Like they're randomly
Because
excavating.
remember, in the prologue, this planet came out of the warp, and they're like, "Oh, let's go look on it."
Yeah, but that doesn't
It's
mean
like,
they start excavating like,
maybe we
hey, it's filled with demons and heretical shit. Let's fucking dig around in the dirt and see if we can find some souvenirs.
Yeah, I really don't get that. But then again, we are the dirty fucking magpies, and all we do is steal shit.
That is true, but if any chapter were to try and just steal shit from a demon-infested hellhole, it would be the bloody magpies.
Which is why Dawn of War 3 is bad.
Ow!
You actually don't steal the spear. What's wrong? Are you okay?
Thaddeus died immediately, like the usual bitch is, because there's a D cannon up there. There you go. Now, I've
God,
charged it, but I'm now surrounded by howling banshees, and that's going to be a bad thing for me.
Dad, you can't die.
Fucking hell. Kyle, what did you even do?
Look, L-Tarts have super powerful weapons, and they're fucking gay. What do you want from me?
I want you to not die like a bitch!
No, you're gonna run back here. No.
Oh, why am I hit? Kyle? Did you set up a fucking fallback position here or
Don't
something?
Don't die! Use your ability, run!
Did you set up a fucking fallback position here? Why?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, but
we needed it. No. It made sense at the time.
Kyle, you little shit! Why did you do this to me?
Because your guys are going down and I wanted them to heal.
I have many enemies in this world, Kyle, but none quite as ferocious as you. I will say this.
You mean autistic? Get it right.
No, ferocious. Right. I'm gonna fucking heal them all. Oh, this feels like a real waste of fucking heal. Oh god. You know, Kyle. I cannot wait for Youngbloods. It will be a test. It will be a test of true.
He won't shut up about
power.
playing that game. He's like, oh, we're gonna fucking call Youngblood. It's some piece of shit game that nobody wants to play.
It's gonna be great.
I have no health points.
It's gonna be great.
I have no health points.
And also, Divinity 2, when we organize that, sometime between now and the 700 years till Jesus Christ returns.
We're sooner to do Baldur's fucking Gate. Like, we have the people to do it. I just don't know why you just
because right now I'm fucking busy with facts. But only a few more episodes. Only a few more episodes.
It is done.
We got a lot of stuff to do.
We do.
Submarines here.
Baldur's Gate will be actually pretty fun to co-op.
Oh,
I
yeah,
imagine
that's true.
it'll be
I'm
a
actually looking forward to it.
fucking pure hell, though, because I remember the original ones and how they were like, what? You want challenging encounters? Okay. Is this good enough for challenge? Party wipe.
Every fucking, like, getting past the first few hours of Baldur's Gate is hell because somebody do something stupid, or if you pick the wrong people to play with, they'll attack an NPC and y'all fucking die.
It is hell in a basket.
Thaddeus reporting in.
I hope I can actually, reinforce at this point. I can't.
Két kövöd, azt a
Take
kurva.
your position, brother.
Right. Look at that.
Pazd meg.
An entire Space Marine army is beating up on one ranger and still takes us half an hour.
Where are we needed?
Look, it's a very powerful ranger, okay? It's a power ranger.
Azt a rohadt
Power
köcsög
Ranger.
faszopó.
That was a good show for the, 6-year-old me.
Te bilám bazd meg sniperre.
Oh, goddamn.
Az
You would like Power Rangers. Even as a kid,
ez a legnagyobb
my friends
vicc,
told
ami
me to not
történt
like it.
szerintem a
I mean,
taktika játékban
it was that
történetében.
even as a child, I recognized how fucking schlocky
Ez
it was,
olyan,
and yet, still, it was adorable.
Földi gilisztának adná bazd
See,
meg.
as a child, I watched Starship Troopers Roughnecks.
I wasn't allowed to. I watched that movie with my parents in the room at the time, and then they got to the scene where he impaled the dude's fucking hand against the wall with a throwing knife, and that was it.
And that was the end of it. Damn. My parents only tried to cover my eyes when they were doing the sex scene when I saw a boobie. I was like, huh, titty. One of the first titties I can remember.
Rico. Yes, I remember Rico. Rico was just like, no, pussy, get away from me. I don't want you. Then again,
yeah, I don't know why.
Rico had the luxury. Rico was fucking chaste. He had wall-to-wall vagina just fucking running after him. Except the first choice was, of course, like, I'm gonna join the Navy because I'm all special-like.
Yeah, that one was a fruit cup. Carmine, yeah.
Moving to engage.
And then she found herself a new man who also drove those strange, derpy aircraft things.
He's the generic dick, and then he dies.
And not just dies either, he gets numbed.
To be fair, at least he didn't die like a bitch way, he sacrificed. Because he gave the knife to the other girl in the movie.
Yep, he didn't die the death of the bitch, which is nice.
He died an actual hero, and I was like, props to that. And then 5 seconds later, they forget about his death.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck, god damn it, movie.
Carmen, no care.
It doesn't help that the director, like, that was intentional. Like when the girl raises her arm despite being impaled by the fucking bug. They forgot about it. Yeah, no. Apparently that shit was intentional, from what I heard.
To be fair, Starship Troopers the movie is only good because of a series of fucking accidents, basically.
Yep.
Because the dude...
They were trying to mock it.
Yes, exactly. They were trying to mock it, and they ended up presenting actually a really fucking cool universe.
To the fight, brothers.
Yep.
Like, really?
Because
voting rights to only those who give a shit about voting? You know what? That doesn't fucking sound so
put some
bad.
skin in the game? You have to work to get to vote? Oh my god.
What a
Novel
terrible
concept.
system.
Honestly, I kind of like that idea. I wish we had that, because then I would actually, like, probably... That would have been the definite pushover to get me to join the military. Would they let me in? Probably not, though.
See... That is a genuine problem with democracy, and it is inherent with universal democracy. The simple fact is, a considerable portion of the population just won't actually give a fuck. And there's no real easy way to fix that.
Nailed fist.
Yeah.
Assault squad on the way.
Service guarantees citizenship. See, that just sounds good.
Go.
And if you don't care, if you don't want to wield your franchise, if you don't want to wield your political force, that's fine too. You can still, take part in commerce. You can trade with people. You can make a business. Hell, Johnny Rico's parents were fucking rich.
Forward.
Yep.
Now, of course,
They were.
the problem is also obvious, though. If you do implement such a system, how do you prevent the people who have the franchise to abuse it for their own ends? Like, how do you stop them from basically just giving themselves pay rises every few months, etc.?
Yep. That's true. Oh, shit.
I mean, I guess you could rely upon, if people saw that and they thought it was unjust, then they could, you know, pick up the franchise themselves, but, you know, that's...
I mean, then they'd say, "Oh, this is unjust because I think it is." Yeah, no. Again, it's some really good concepts and ideas, but they need refining.
Yes,
and refinement.
They definitely need refining.
Oh shit! This is bad.
Right, I don't have any healing or anything, so yeah. You best live, bitch.
I'm dead. Destroy them. Look, warp spiders just delete my ass, okay? Like, that's not even fair.
Yeah, no, warp spiders are pretty fucking magical. Can I at least do, like...
Take your position, brother.
That was devastating to him.
Right, okay. I'm gonna try and rest...
Assault squad.
Rest Thaddeus, there we go.
Tarkus.
I don't care. Someone's gonna live, damn it. Someone's gonna fucking live. Oh, good God.
Take your position, brother.
This sucks.
Alright, I really wish we had some fucking heavy weapons here.
Forward.
Yeah, we should have brought fucking Navitus, but it wouldn't let me.
Yeah, we couldn't. And since we had to leave fucking our Dreadnought back, we don't even have his assault cannon to just sweep the little shits.
We have to run back to save him, by the way. Don't forget, it's gonna get shit after we kill these guys.
Yep. Alright, I'm just gonna focus on taking down these warp generators.
Okay, I'm gonna try to take down that fucking
Most meg mellett accelerera och han
But no, it definitely does require a lot of refinement, but honestly, I am leaning more and more towards a system of enforced voting, where there are certain rules and regulations that you have to put in a bit of time. At the very least in schools. In school, political philosophy should be mandatory. Like, you should be forced to read about it, you should be forced to learn about it, you should have to understand how the state works.
Definitely, but I see one flaw where we need to also work out still. And that is, I don't know about your country, but in my country, there's a lot of books that are politicized, especially about politics and when you're brought into school.
Yeah, the huge problem is how do you prevent that system from becoming biased?
Yeah, and it's very difficult.
It is, because essentially...
Because people are innately biased.
Yeah, you'd basically, you would have to put down a... Oh, Jesus, that was a lot of shit. Some kind of think tank group, almost, that could represent as much of the nation as possible. And you'd have to go through a lengthy and rigorous process to determine what could be brought in there. Because basically, the hope is that you could then revisit this curriculum every, say, 5 to 10 years, and check, you know, what is still held to be true, what has maybe changed, because you need to keep up with political and sensibilities as well, in reality.
It is done. Move on. Thaddeus here.
Yeah. Oh, so this is shit.
Yeah, fucking warp spiders. Fucking warp spiders, and those goddamn leapy shits, which do so much damage.
Seek and destroy. I have failed.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, heal me.
Thank fuck I bought that Thaddeus thing where he gets back up when he dies.
Oh, we have to kill this? This isn't gonna take for fucking ever.
Ooh.
Oh, God.
Right, well, Thaddeus is gonna go get some dudes back.
Careful, they're gonna spawn from here, I think. Also, I think out of the ice, those things will thaw, and Eldar units will come out to life. Those things are cancer.
So it's taken us like fucking 10 minutes to get to this point. If they were gonna thaw, I'm sure they would have.
If we lose this level, it's gonna be really shitty because we're gonna redo the whole fucking thing. I hate this level.
God, yeah.
Oh! We need to get this level done.
Wait, we need some fucking AoE. Doesn't he have some cool, like, psychic powers or something?
He does. It's might, but it's not really powerful yet. See? Yeah. I have like an AoE. Oh, shit!
Yep, here I come. Right. Fucking stack that knockdown. And hope for the best. Oh, yeah. There you go. Right.
Run!
That was quite the thing.
They do too much damage. I can't even run.
I'm trying to fucking get them into melee so you can escape, but I can't even do that.
Fall back to a secure position.
He's not getting away. Dead. That's disgusting.
Yep.
Fuck, I hate this level.
And the knockdown.
How can we get you out?
The knockdown's a real issue, because as long as I can keep dealing damage to them, I can kind of heal, but with the stun, that gets a lot more interesting. And thing is, with my other character, I had so much knockdown resistance on my gear that it no longer was a problem, but now, without ass splitter, without that awesome ass fucking pistol, yep, I get knocked on my ass again.
And again, and again.
Splitty, splitty, splat. Fucking warp spiders with 11,000 hit points. Oh, I gotta love
This
it.
is Thaddeus.
Right, I rest Tarkus.
They cannot stop
Right,
us.
let's get you fucking in there. Just tag those little shits in melee.
Boss,
Destroy
man.
them.
Try to get back into support, yeah. The one nice thing that the librarian has, he has a heal ability. It's a little bit micro because you gotta, constantly revive it.
Ja, dat is
I don't even know how good you are at microcon. I really enjoyed that taunt support in the first fucking game.
Hey, I'm pretty good at Warcraft 3. Am I pretty good? I'm mediocre. That's how good I am.
I should force you to play more Dota and make you good at that.
No, the game's shit. We'll never play it again. Fuck you.
Force you to do it.
Now run back.
They somehow drew psychic power from
Start making our way back and fucking hurry. Oh shit.
Eldar, press their attack upon my buttocks. I will clench tight
Captain Thule,
for as
hold
long as
fast.
possible.
We must support him, Commander.
Probably if Thule was smart, he'd just use his ability and wipe out all of those guardians in one swish, but he's not smart.
You dumber to box rocks. Oh, of course, it sends you over there and it fucking makes me go all the way back here.
The biggest problem here is the simple fact that each one of these fucking squads has thousands of hit points.
Move on.
Which makes things interesting. Oh god,
look at
he's
that bar fall.
They are sluggish. They must require a
right.
Reposition.
Just kind of
Mark.
keep going.
Engage
We can't
by
stop to
Eldar.
fight, I think.
I'm getting that vibe too. If we reach a certain point, we can. No, we can't retreat. We don't control any of the points.
Oh, goody.
Your orders. Forward, brothers.
I'm not seeing this going well.
Is the rest of fucking your squad coming? There you go. Lovely, lovely. You brought in the rest of your friends. That's great. And this map is fucking cheap on the resupplies too. Right, I'm just gonna jump right the fuck over there.
Assault squad repositioning.
Engage by Eldar.
And basically just fucking rush for Thule.
and with a warlock this time.
Oh shit, we're never capturing that.
Come a Wraith Guard.
I ain't getting back. Thule is the only one who's gonna make it, by the way.
Follow
Right.
me, brothers, to the sky.
Jim. Recapture.
Eldar, close and engage.
Right. Fuck, I can't move. I am getting just so chain stunned. Okay.
Destroy the spirit seer. Yeah, I don't think that's
I've got
gonna
the
happen.
points.
Secured the location.
Please retreat the right fucking way. Thank you very much.
Eldar, close and engage.
Right, I mean, you're fucked. I don't think I can save you, but at least I can get my first commander and Thaddeus back to try and deal with this shit.
Is done. Move on.
Yep, at least I soaked up some of the blast, so... I feel like I contributed. But yeah, see, look at his health is already below halfway. If we didn't rush here,
Yep.
I don't think this would have ended well.
Yeah, this would have ended exceedingly poorly.
Moving to engage.
Alright, just fucking keep spamming that AoE. Keep spamming that AoE fucking E.
Engage by Eldar!
Whew.
We're almost dead.
Move! Grenade!
Oh shit.
Oh, this level's
Withdraw!
stressful. Thank God.
Formation!
Well, we're not doing anything yet.
Yeah, but it looks like we're getting it in the first try, which is
To the fight, brothers.
good.
Good. Most of my runs in this game,
What?
I normally have to redo this level because I fuck up. Wait, what?
Hold the
Captain Thule has taken critical damage.
What?
What the fuck? That's some bullshit game.
What?
What did we do wrong? I don't get it.
Was that supposed... What? He had fucking quarter plus health left.
Your troops are now restored, Commander, while the enemy's losses remain telling.
I'm very upset
What?
with that one. Now hold on, can I switch characters? No. That's some serious bullshit. Oh no.
The fuck? I'd have to look at that again, but I swear to fucking God, that was...
He did. That was some serious bullshit, yeah.
I'm
reason why I
sure
hate this
he
level.
had a fuck ton of health left.
Yeah, I'm not sure why his health dropped like a rock. And we even rushed back.
Alright.
It couldn't have been due to the fact that the character...
Maybe it was because we didn't kill the seer fast enough. Anywho, we'll wrap this episode up here and we'll do this all over again, because happy fun time. Yay, yay, yay.
Look at the bright side. We get to do it again. Together. Oh.
Oh god, here, there's some more artwork.
Oh god.
God damn it. I like how you have the blurred swastikas. Yeah, the blurred swastika.
Erase
them from history. Fuck it.
But yeah, the officer is starting to doubt what the fuck he's on about too now, and the rifleman is just getting more and more like, oh god. Oh god.
Was a walking galaxy or a mad magician. Silk ribbons fluttered like streams of burning gas. Did he ever crawl out of his shell onto some couch at night, tender-bodied, squashy, all of his pleasure nerves exposed to the ministrations of some large wet tongue? Another warrior wore a brass waistcoat and leggings glued with some gold braid as if furry caterpillars crawled upon his armor. In place of his left arm, he sported a sheath of tentacles on his head, an exuberantly ringleted periwig. Yet another, who was visibly hermaphroditic, in plus crystal armor, thrust forth a great lobster claw, studded with medallions. One thin, tall, small-breasted figure, braced with a clanking baroque exoskeleton, bore the head of a fly, upon which perched a cocked plumed hat. A brass-bound ovipositor jutted from her loins. Her neighbor was a striding, slavering two-legged goat in rut with a starched organdy ruff fanning around his neck, lace ruffled at his elbows, and a velvet cloak. Only one massive man appeared to be true human. He wore a nightmare parody of noble space marine armor, engraved with 100 demon faces, though disdaining a helmet. Great flangled pipes soared sidelong from behind his head, as if copying the bullman's horns in reverse. That head was of statuesque marble nobility, the hair bleached white and permed into waves. At the tip of his aquiline nose, he wore an emerald ring that suggested a drip of mucus. One cheek was tattooed with sword and sheath poised like lingam and yoni. Alongside this traitor marine there danced a mutant woman who was at once beautiful and hideous. Her body, clad in a chain-mailed leotard trimmed with rosettes and puffs of gauze, was blanched and petite, her hair blonde and voluptuous. Yet her jade-green eyes were swollen ovals, set askew in an otherwise sensual face. Her feet were ostrich claws, ornamented with topaz rings. Her hands were chitinous, painted pincers, a razor-edged tail lashed behind her plump buttocks. How like a demonette of Koras she seemed. Google groaned at the sight of her and took an involuntary step forward. Grim gritted his teeth and... Yeah, that's it! I do not need to read anymore, you get it!
Haha, got him. When I said gross you were probably thinking Nurgle. Nope, it was Slaanesh the whole time.
Absolutely disgusting!
It comes as no surprise that we get a painfully accurate depiction of the blight of Koas upon the human form. Do you know, in addition to all the boobular nipple rings, exactly why we got this drawn-out explanation in the first place, when all of these creatures are dismissed as irrelevant barely a chapter after the fact is a question everyone already knows the answer to.
In an effort to obfuscate his true purpose on the planet, Jock banters with the Koas townsfolk about things for a while, and taking no time to explain to them that he is having sexual relations with Meherlindi, who might I add, is still disguised as a genius.
Oh wait, you have forgotten the best part about her transformation!
No!
Did you not wish to talk about the fuck pouch that she grew to simulate a vaginal opening as a part of her disguise to these filthy Koas folk?
Who knows you? Maybe this is my next movie.
A normal wrote this, and yet I find myself ostracized for wanting to call them.
The servants of He Who Shall Not Be Named are wily and disgusting. Truly, Ian Watson understands the subject matter better than we could ever hope to.
I don't ever want to understand Koas.
On that, boy, we agree. I mean, shut it!
Suffice to say, the Koas warriors are only slightly duped by Draco's ploy, and combat ensues. Lovingly rendered combat, I might add, to be entirely fair. It is not bad.
At least he goes to as much detail in describing their wretched bodies being torn asunder as he does in describing the wretched bodies in the first place.
Yes. After dispatching the band of Koas people, they move closer towards the city on the horizon when they hear a very distant noise, which is explained further in the next chapter.
Inquisitor, Chapter 14.
Alright, so we begin Chapter 14 as Draco and his cohorts enter a city.
Horned phallic towers, wrinkled, ribbed, blistered with window pustules, cancerous breast domes swelled, fondled by scaly finger buttresses. Tongue bridges linked these buildings, sliding back and forth. Scrotum pods swayed. Orifice entries pulsed open and shut. Some buildings were incongruous with each other, headless, limbless torsos laying side by side, joined abominably. An architectonic orgy.
Ian Watson must be a master at writing one-handed at this point. I will give him that.
This is, of course, one of the other great wizarding schools. I couldn't tell you which, but all you need to know is that Hogwarts is sanctioned, and this is not.
Hogwarts a bust, I guess.
Bust indeed.
See, man. Draco and friends can hear a noise coming from the city. The noise, as it is now described, seems to be emanating from a large, vile figure upon a palanquin being pulled by chaos monstrosities.
Ah, that must be Hagar the Horrible, the bear man who tore Uncle Vernon's head from his body.
Around said figure is an entourage of warriors clad in traitor's armor. They are briefly described before... Bull. The obese woman upon the palanquin is a noble lady of sorts that is shouting for her concert. Shouting for him. Bull. He was the bull of a man described earlier. The one with the bones, the bulging bones.
As she screams, her voice is so cacophonous that it rings across the boob hills and is audible from impossible distances. Jock and the party proceed to set up an ambush to eliminate her protectors. Then they do that, with relative ease I might add, something that really shouldn't be doable on a Coas planet with naught but bolt guns and a psychic weapon.
They're just that good! All the adepts of Slaanesh are just that bad.
Very bad. Her escorts thus disposed of, Jack begins to torture the Fiend for information as to what the Hydra is, and whether gene stealers are involved. He gets a bit of information from the thing, before she is eliminated from a long distance by... none other than Zephyro Carnelian?
Who appears to have sniped and killed this monstrosity with only a las pistol.
This statement is bothersome. A las pistol does not have a significant enough charge to be fired at long range and be expected to instantly kill a malformed chaos worshipper.
Actually, I didn't parse that my first time through. What?
Do not dwell on this. There are far worse things in this record to be dwelling upon.
He's just that good! Haven't you realized this?
Right. Of course. That ends Chapter 14.
Inquisitor, Chapter 15.
We're almost done with this, I'm glad to say. I need to take an aspirin. About 50 to be precise.
Yeah, same, actually. My head is ringing fiercely. And that's a vicious feat considering my superhuman physique.
Oh, you all shall drink from the manclesical fountain of aspirin after this is finished, but there is not much left to this tome. Carnelian has finally confronted Draco and his party, and he chastises him for betraying the Ordo Hydra.
It is as though the people within this book forget the limitations and abilities of various beings, ideas, and concepts seemingly at will, almost as if they are only paid any attention when they serve the narrative.
But my man, Emperor, this is an account of someone's adventures, not a work of fiction.
Oh, right. Well, forget what I said. Jacques Draco is just a massive weirdo.
Yes. Yes, he is, my master. Carnelian then orders his two compatriots who appear to be armed with heavy bolters to begin to take down Draco and his team. Naturally, Draco and company escaped pretty much unharmed. They then depart on the Tormentum Malorum, seemingly with no plans and no idea how to tackle their newfound problem.
You'd think that a good place to start would be to get past the giant dog that they encountered earlier. It's obviously hiding something crucial to the story.
Sir, I think you may be reading a different story.
Shut it, boy. You have no regard for foreshadowing and obviously have been slacking off in reading our book.
The book upside down, sir.
I knew that. There's a picture in here that's upside down, and I wanted a better look.
That's not the book we were reading.
Huh. It isn't. Shield Captain, what is that book you are reading?
I have seen this book before. This is a fictional account of a wizard from ancient Terran times.
This book was intended for small children during this time, and yet he thought it was an account of a rogue inquisitor seeking to undo an Imperium-wide conspiracy group. That is extremely funny.
What do you mean? Everything I read was a lie?
Well, yes, it's a fictional story meant to entertain babies. Clearly, it did its job.
I hate you! This is all wrong!
Case is a lie, truth is a lie, as Jacques Drago would put it.
You don't understand! I loved these people! I loved Ronaldo. He was a lovable goof who was never afraid to speak his mind. And now he doesn't exist?
Oh no, it's happening again.
It's okay, sir. He still exists in your brain.
It's not the same!
Wow, he took that hard.
It's just like the time when we were reading him The Giving Tree. I think he's taking it a bit harder because he's the one reading it this time.
But hey fucking nerd, keep going. We need to finish this up with or without him.
Right you are, my master. So, we left off on... that's it. Alright, so chapter 16 is here.
Inquisitor, chapter 16.
Right, thank you. This chapter seems to meander quite a bit. It starts off with the crew aboard the Tormentum Malorum lamenting their current position in the state of affairs in the Imperium. Jock is concerned that his crew doesn't trust in his ability to lead them. Grim is despondent and seems to want to drink excessively. Meherlindi shows absolutely almost no emotion. And Google continues on to contribute a bare minimum to justify his existence in life.
He's a navigator. What were you expecting out of the little pervert?
I don't know. I just find his existence redundant. Jock could have spent this entire time having not even mentioned his name, and I think we would have had about the same idea as to what is going on.
Complain about redundancies later. Read now.
Of course. They spend the chapter visiting the resupply depot and the star system of Bandicoot. It says Bandicoot, I'm sure of it.
Whoa!
You are in need of prescription spectacles, sir. The star system is called Bandicoot.
It's practically the same. Anyway, during this time, Google seemed to dwell on the repulsive fiends from the Koas planet and how he felt aroused by her presence. Meanwhile, Jock muses on his attraction to Melindy in her gene stealer form because, of course, he does.
At least he acknowledges it.
Unfortunately.
While all this is happening, your boy Grimbo slips from their attention and goes on a drinking binge aboard the station, staying for way too long and almost getting left behind as the Tormentum Malorum was preparing to depart without him.
To think, we almost lost the only redeemable person in this record due to impatience.
As they leave the station, they resolve to find a way to alert the Emperor himself on Holy Terra about the plot. This irrational bag of bones must know of the tentacle monster.
If it were up to me, and I had the ability to take in visitors, who are screened to the point where we can see the DNA of their very pubes, I would. Granted, if I were to know what Jack had been up to prior to this point, I probably would just throw him out the window.
While I wouldn't begrudge you that, my lord, I would prefer to be the one to throw him out.
I would too, honestly.
As would I.
If I were strong enough, I would destroy him.
Do not worry, boy. Someday in the future you may grow strong enough to defenestrate foul, depraved, secret inquisitors.
Oh, that is likely the first and only time I shall be warmed by boy's childlike wonder. Oh well, while finally en route to Terra, Meherlindi reveals to Jock a horrifying truth. And for once, it isn't anything utterly depraved. When she was a young trainee for the Calidus Temple, she was given some sort of special thing. Again, not depraved, but it's not very well elaborated on. Regardless, said thing stops her from transforming into anything other than a gene stealer with her polymorphin, and that she is more or less consigned to this singular and specific talent.
That doesn't sound like a very good thing, to be honest.
Nope, but this does end chapter 16. 2 more to go!
Inquisitor, chapter 17.
We smash cut to Jacques inside of a crate on board a transport ship bound for Terra.
That's a bit of a jump there.
Why, yes, straight into the action. You see, Jacques and company have managed to board a black ship now, and stuff their bodies into boxes in order to be transported to Terra without worry. Jacques explains to his readers that he has convinced the not-secret Inquisitors aboard the Black Ship that there is some sort of kidnapping ring that has been stealing the young, psychically imbued children who are to be sacrificed to the Emperor as slaves for various uses.
He appears to imply something very foul here, though sincerely I hope it is simply me reading too much into this.
The not-secret Inquisitor aboard the Black Ship that is transporting the boxes is described as having alien fetus earrings. I just wanted to mention that.
Move on.
I am sorry, Master, but I must point out how completely asinine it is that this secret Inquisitor is attempting to secret himself onto Terra by lying to the supposedly highest security captains of a black ship and hiding in a box. He is sneaking onto Terra by hiding in a box!
He is attempting to sneak into one of the most heavily defended locations in the entire Imperium by hiding inside of a box. That would be funny, were it not so personally insulting.
Stop dwelling on it and move on, damn it.
If we time skip again to Jacques and his party disembarking from their crates, which appear to be bound for the kitchens in the lower sections of the palace itself. After they sneak out of the kitchen, there is a bizarrely detailed description of a custodes killing a rat. Oh shit, I think that might have been the shield captain. After this, they disguise themselves as agents of the Administratum using some grey robes. They are let through into a secure area simply by having these robes on. In this portion of the workings beneath the palace, there are signs of heavy machinery being used to power the throne, and there are... Alright, are you with me on this one? 3, 2, 1...
Sodium vapor flambeau behind high false clerestory windows of stained glass, painted patches of amber ichor, sap, and hemoglobin across the tessellated floor.
For those of you survived this barrage, this large, needlessly descriptive sentence is being used to describe a window, the lamp behind the window, and the color of the floor.
Stylistic writing!
This goes beyond stylistic. This is not just flowery writing. The sentence is a winding hedge maze of an entity that is indicative of everything ridiculous about Ian Watson's writing style. It took the more illiterate of us 5 whole fuck mothering minutes to look up the definitions for each of these words in various dictionaries we had on hand. Please, if any of you are thinking of becoming scribes, do not stop and force your readers to drop your book and pick up a dictionary every other chapter just because you need to assert your talent for finding obscure words. And to any intellectual types out there beginning to write an email to us about how it is the sign of a learned man, who includes such advanced words and phrases in a text medium, this record is shallow, and only artificially deep. It is depraved, uncanny, and most damning of all, boring. This is not a text that is even remotely entertaining or informative due to the way that it is written, the way its story and personages are handled, and even its breakneck pacing. What little entertainment we have derived from this text is obtained purely through the sheer hilarity that comes with something so irrational attempting to be presented as a serious story. This book is crap.
Who knows? Maybe this is my next
move. You good, my master?
I find my reality growing ever more frustrating, and sometimes I need to have this established by physical means.
Right, so that's your little rant over, Father. I do not entirely agree with your assessment. I think that while his stylistic writing can go quite far in places, there are some chapters in which it fits to illustrate how truly gruesome and depraved the Imperium can be. It's like he's painting a detailed, intricate picture with nothing but his words.
I agree with this comparison, and only that reading this is like watching paint dry.
Look, we all have our problems with this account. From its sheer unbelievability to how this Watson man portrays everything with this bizarre sexual tinge.
Why, if it isn't the bacon calling the salmon oily?
It's adorable when I do it.
What I think he's getting at is that we've all got problems with this thing. Whether or not Jack Draco indeed managed to infiltrate the Imperial Palace and came in here and spoke with you Lord.
A fact I refute vehemently.
The way this book is written makes it very hard to get invested in his travels, as it is quite clear he was, indeed, trying to get us invested.
If you feel the need to enhance a tale about a rogue secret inquisitor seeking to save the very Imperium of Man from total destruction at the hands of a sinister cult, then you have not told the story properly.
Rogue is correct. The story stood every chance of enrapturing us with its contents, and yet here we sit, repulsed.
It's rather sad when you think about it.
Kind of, yeah. Should we continue on and prepare to end this book?
Sure. Whatever. This has gotten quite sad, and I would prefer to feel angry at the contents of this book.
Right away, my master. We left off at the overly descriptive lamp, window, and floor, right?
Yeah.
Good. Further described in the room which Draco and company find themselves are the pumps and machines that filled the throne with life. The life in this situation seems to be a number of fluids containing Xenos corpses and drugs, of all things. These pumps are manned by awful, lumpy children who look as though they have tuberculosis. Again, thank you for that, Mr. Watson.
This raises the question. Child, were you ever in the Underpalace?
No, my lord. My friend says he was for a while. I haven't seen her in a long time, though. I think she has the job of greasing the gears and blood bumps.
Oh my.
Moving on, I say that a lot this cast. There is an admittedly humorous depiction of petitioners trying to enter into the High Lord's hearing chamber. It is humorous as there are numerous merchants selling things to people on the line, from rocks dogs to all kinds of greasy finger foods and even portable latrines. Ha! Normal.
Before I was a boxer, my overseer wanted me to sell snacks to people in the line. I'm glad I got this job instead. I get to be with the Holy Emperor instead of getting stomped flat by folks in line like many of my siblings.
And that concludes Chapter 17. One more to go, folks.
Inquisitor, Chapter 18. The Dawn of the Final Chapter.
Now, in the most baffling of scenarios, Draco and his party leave the palace and depart for the slums of the city surrounding the palace. What is the name of that city again?
I don't know, actually. I really am a privileged bastard, aren't I?
Huh. Well, they go to that city and apparently spend months moving back towards the palace. They do this because they think they are being followed by potential assailants. While roving through the city, they kill numerous people and murder more than a few families in order to assume their lifestyle and hide from these unseen assailants.
Bunch of fucking murder hobos.
They're not very good people.
They eventually wind up at the Eternity Gate, disguised as somewhat high-ranking officials. I find it incongruous that they murder a Sister of Battle, a tech priest, a small child, and similar just so they can steal their identities and sneak into the palace. As if making their party look even more suspect would somehow help them break through our security protocols.
Maybe it was Taco Day?
Good point. Whatever the reason, they get pretty damn far into the literal Imperial Palace. I am ashamed.
I wouldn't be surprised. People seem to waltz into here all the damn time.
Before they're going to be made by the guards, time stops.
Father, apparently you stopped time so you could talk with him. You then conveyed his incorporeal form into this very throne room and spoke with him about already knowing all about the Hydra and that he would be your agent against evil.
I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that this man has never in his life ever set foot in this throne room, corporeally or incorporeally.
You sincerely cannot remember if you had ever spoken to him, Lord?
Sincerely. Neither this man nor his ramblings strikes even the smallest of bells within my memory. This unfortunately means that our entire story was all for naught. I hope.
As a custodian guard, this is quite gratifying, but as a reader of this book, it is thoroughly unsatisfying. And that is also the end of our book.
Inquisitor, Epilogue.
I am feeling the burn from reading this now. I am not reading any more of it. If you people desperately want to know how it all ends, the book ends with an old man shitting himself to death. Is anyone surprised? No.
Ah, so it does, ending with a truly potent allegory to the human condition.
Inquisitor, over. I suppose.
Well, and truly.
Alright. So, since this took a year to get through and my entire body has been lit on fire by Ian Watson, I wish to stop here for now. There will be no questions this time around because I know the vicious blob beasts listening to this will only make it worse.
Thank you for this mercy, my lord.
Thank you. And for inviting me onto this Voxcast, I would also like to say, what did I do to deserve this? Is this my way of repenting for my previous wrongdoings? Please, I beg of you, do not exact this intense a punishment on me again, for I fear my old body will not be able to take it. I must go now, and drink from the fountain of aspirin, and sleep, long and deep. I wish you all good recovery.
You're all a bunch of whiners.
Magnus, do you consume the taco on the Friday or the Tuesday?
Taco Tuesday is on Friday.
Powers of coerce prevail!
Van itt fönn egy diszk. Érdekes, hogy az, amelyik húsvért sebez a legjobban, az nem megy át a Predator armoron.
So we've succeeded in pranking them.
Basically.
We have sown dissension within the ranks.
I think it's about to unfurl.
Revolution.
Yeah, no, the officer's like, no, I was told this by someone. And he
It was a
like
good idea, but I think it was a little bit too ambitious.
Well,
This plan.
It wasn't a bad plan. He got lucky with his wits awareness, so he kind of started questioning things as well. But I mean, there's a commissar in there. He should know if there really was a spy.
All right, going back here.
I assumed that the guy that we got out was the highest ranking guy in there.
Well, the highest ranking military man, but political officers.
Yeah, I go back here on the road.
Okay.
I wait for them to come out.
All right, would you? Okay. Dev can tell you they're not really about to come out. He doesn't know where he got this idea from. I mean,
if we set fire to the house, would it be considered done quietly?
Yes, it would be considered done brightly. And the screaming.
Buzz Meg.
I don't know, guys. Like,
capture the guard post. Well, sir, we have denied the enemy access to the guard post.
Let me actually do a quick roll here. Let's
maybe it looked like an accident.
All right, the rifleman decides that we heard this from the Germans, and now the commissar is getting really like, what the fuck?
Okay, we should at this point we should just sneak up, get some fire, and then light the place on fire because there's a bonfire right there.
You know the fire is really dangerous for vampires, right?
Yeah, but nonetheless.
And yeah, it will take a little while before this house catches blaze.
Well,
I don't know, man. Fires are quick.
Hold on. I've got an idea here. V, you're closest, so you handle the fire. The three of us will just go and block off all the exits.
Hold on, I just want to talk with the commissar, and then once I have the officer and the commissar, they will surrender.
Okay, so with the fire thing, I don't know if our orders implied that this would be an acceptable way to neutral. I feel like it would.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I think if our first mission results in us destroying the target we were supposed to capture, we might not be very well liked.
I mean, if we rode back in a tank, we would be like, all right, on the plus side, we got the tank. But
it would be a creative interpretation of orders.
Yeah, I don't think I'm down with the conflagration strategy.
Yeah,
it would probably be more quiet to shoot them inside the house than setting fire to it because you can see the fire a while away.
Yeah, but muffled gunshots on the inside of a building, not terribly loud from the outside. Far enough in the woods.
Is the commissar coming out anytime soon?
Well, are you guys going to move up with V, or are you going to sit in the forest?
Wait, tell you what, I will. I think one or two of us should go around the back so that we can see in through the windows and then fire in through the windows.
Yeah. If we can convince them all to come outside, and we have the tank, then we can just point the tank gun at them, and they'll probably surrender quite quickly.
Question, actually. Arch, should I have knowledge of the interior layout of the building from looking in through all the windows?
No, but
yeah, I should, because I'm seeing through his eyes. I know what's in there.
That's true. Actually, let me just turn down.
Oh, that's turn order.
So, yeah, you can indeed see inside the building, at least as much as they can see. So I'll move you over to that. Because he'll just tell everybody else what's in there. So the officer and the commissar are still just arguing with one another, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. There's a tank crewman sitting by one of the tables, and another rifleman just intrigued by what the fuck this is.
So, do you want to like the two people who didn't fail their stealth roll? So that's Uzulu and Regs. Go around back, take positions at the windows. V and I will go up front.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's
a
do
grenade
that.
wouldn't be too bad right now. It's a shame they didn't have any.
Would have been somewhat loud.
Yeah, but only once.
The Dominic guys won't attack me, right?
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
It might be a little bit unentranced right now, unenthralled.
Can I transform into a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Yes,
Nope.
but not now. It needs some. It needs some rituals, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
Right, Uzulu, do a stealth test.
Are we doing this then? Are we doing the sneak around the outside plan?
Yeah.
Still, I would prefer if I could get the commissar, because then it would be like the most stealthy thing ever imaginable, and it will give us points with.
Well, we'll save that for episode 2. The most stealthy thing imaginable.
Yeah, like no gunfires, no shots, no nothing. Just some people coming up and.
I know S rank mission. I got you, man. All the Panther points.
At the same time, having you two sneak behind will at
It's
least give us
good-
like a
in
backup
case
plan,
things go
right?
south, yeah, then machine gun fire from the windows generally effective.
So,
Yeah, but if we can get them to surrender or
Okay,
to
so
go with V's plan, better
What I'm
yet.
going to do now is
do
I'm
that.
going to introduce the time limit to force decisions in a timely manner. So
yes, thank you.
make a decision within a minute.
Uzulu, roll stealth.
Well, yeah, either way, I might as well be in position, so fine. Which attribute do I click for that? Dexterity?
Yes, stealth dexterity. So you click stealth and then choose dexterity.
What did you say that the modifier stat was for that?
No modifier.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
I rolled a 1. Well, the campaign's beginning as I mean for it to go on.
Yes, you make an incredible amount of noise outside.
Are they even going to hear you because of all the yelling?
I mean, that was a lot of noise. I don't know what you just did, but it was loud.
Knock a few trees over on your way?
Possibly. Okay, so yeah, the commissar was like, "Well, what was that? What is actually going on here?" I'm trying to figure out what the hell he would actually like really do in this situation because he barely understands what the fuck's going on either.
Maybe he'll come out the front and look at Veen, and V can do his thing.
So,
see, the distraction was deliberate. I deliberately rolled a 1.
I like it how the strategy here is, there's 6 enemies. Well, we'll just do 6 dominates then.
Hold on a minute. I can sense them sensing that the jig is up, right?
They definitely heard something there.
Okay, so I have a feeling that the jig is up. I'm gonna run towards the tank.
No. I don't think so. I just think they're suspicious. They're on alert. But with all the commotion and confusion, I don't really know if they know exactly what to do.
Hold on. I am hoping that the keys are still in the tank, so I'm running to the tank.
Can you drive a tank?
I can probably just fire it, turn it, and fire it.
In Russian.
Right? Can you turn the tank in Russian? Okay, so you're gonna run towards the tank. That'll take you 60 meters. You can sprint that pretty fucking quickly before they decide what's gonna happen, anyways.
All right.
Now, how are
movement penalties for being a child.
How are you gonna get inside the tank?
Is the top open?
No.
Is it open at all?
No.
Is the car in?
Do you know which openings to gain entrance in the tank?
I figured it was just going to be the top.
Okay, you crawl onto the top. There's metal things there.
Okay. No circular hatches.
No, actually not on the T-26. Funnily enough.
Okay.
Roll, I guess. Just to figure out how to get into a fucking tank.
Technology.
Drive and
technology. Surely.
Not necessarily. Technology will be operating. He's just trying to get into the damn thing now.
Drive and intelligence, maybe, because I'm trying to...
Drive and wits, I think, actually,
wits.
because you're trying to,
Okay.
figure out a problem.
And then no modifier?
Yeah. 2 degrees of success.
You move the turret 2 degrees.
I'd probably say no.
No?
You mess around with the flash, and you can't figure out how to get it open.
Ah, God damn it. Well, I guess that's what I'm doing.
A child on top of the tank.
I'm well, I guess while this is all going on, I'm still kind of outside the window, just barely peering in. And I got my SMG ready just in case. I'm just kind of like the backup. Shit hits the fan. I'm the oh crap button. So,
all right. So with all of the commotion going on, the commissar comes outside.
Ah, finally.
Ah, shit. Okay.
Fuck.
Any chance that I can like leap from the tank to the roof?
No, hold on. As he comes outside, I look towards him and I go, Tavarish.
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 All right. He brings with him one of the other rifle dudes as well. The first thing when he comes out, he sees the child on top of the fucking tank.
There's no chance for me to like try and roll off or something last second.
Let's see.
How do I see the map of the inside of the house and nothing outside?
Because I haven't moved you yet. Stop being so impatient, V. You terrible human. Right. You can try athletics and dexterity, I guess. To leap off the roof of the tank onto the house.
Maybe they won't see me, hopefully. Okay, athletics, which have a 0 in, and dexterity, which have a 2 in.
Mm-hmm. You'll probably need 2 degrees of success at least here.
No, I got nothing.
Right, you fall fucking flat on your face off the side of the tank.
No, that's fine, because I have an excuse to talk with the tank.
I planned for this. I have an excuse.
I've been tracking this child all the way past the border, and I can't get into it.
Okay, the child in the fucking Wehrmacht uniform, okay. Right.
Yeah.
The officer is confused fuckless right now. He's what even? What?
I screamed towards him, Tavarish!
It's like, okay, there's a fucking officer over there. I go, okay. So the commissar is just shaking his head like this is above my pay grade. The commissar then says something like he's okay.
While this is happening, I'd like to continue walking around the back and get into position. My character isn't there yet.
Okay, yeah, you can do
I
that.
say in flawless Russian, Tavarish Commissar, may I have a word?
We're not there yet. God damn it, roll 20.
I've got some artwork here.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, terrible. Terrible in every way.